Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another unit overview for the Revamp Expansion Mod. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Cybran Tier 1 land units. Again, disclaimers, the research tree is completely unlocked. We will not be applying any adjacencies to build times, and again, the mod is in beta, so everything discussed here today will be subject to change in the future. Alright, let's hop straight into it. Up first, we have the Loyalist Assault Bot, coming in last place for its health pool of 101 HP. Tied first for its health regeneration of 27 points, and coming in last place for its land DPS of 19 points. Next up, we have another Assault Bot, the Audax, coming in first place for its health pool of 419 points. Tied first again for a health regen of 27 points, and coming in second place for its land DPS of 25 points. Third on the roster, we have the Banger, a mobile AA flak, coming in second place for its health pool of 310 points, last place for its health regen of 1.8 points, and the only air DPS coming in at 15 points. And finally on the roster, we have the Viper, a mobile missile launcher, coming in third place for its health pool of 264 points, again tied first for its health regen of 27 points, and has the largest land DPS for Tier 1 land at 35 points. Moving on to Section 2, we have build times. First on the roster, the Loyalist Assault Bot, tied first at a 7-second build time for Tier 1, a 4-second build time for Tier 2, and a 2-second build time for Tier 3. Then the Audax Assault Bot, coming in last place for a 13-second build time for Tier 1, 7-second build time for Tier 2, and 4 seconds for Tier 3. Third on the roster, we have the Banger Mobile AA Flak Artillery. Why artillery? I'm not too sure. Coming again tied first at 7 seconds for Tier 1, 4 seconds for Tier 2, and 2 seconds for Tier 3. And finally, the Viper Mobile Missile Launcher, coming in second place at a 12-second build time for Tier 1, a 6-second build time for Tier 2, and a 4-second build time for Tier 3. Third section today is maneuverability. Okay, so let's quickly maneuver this camera. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Get those trees in the background. So, tying in first place for movement speed, we have here the Audax Assault Bot, and surprisingly enough, the Banger Mobile AA Flak Artillery. And tying for last place in movement speed, we have the Viper Mobile Missile Launcher and the Loyalist Assault Bot. Now, in terms of turn rates, again, it is another tie between the Audax Assault Bot and the Banger Mobile AA Flak. Coming in second place, we have the Viper Mobile Missile Launcher, and last place for turn rates, we have the measly Loyalist Assault Bot. Few things to note: not all of the Tier 1 units benefit from the Jump Jets upgrade found in the tech tree. Specifically, the Viper does not gain the upgrade. So if you're jumping your army, make sure you realize that you'll be jumping 3/4 of your army if they comprise of all the Tier 1 units. And they all jump jet units do jump at the same speed, so regardless of their movement speed, they'll all jump together at a static speed. And finally, if you're using the Engage Mega Armor, which only the 2 Assault Bots here have, do keep in mind that when using this ability, not only is your armor increased, but your movement speed is dramatically decreased, alright? So just keep those things in mind. And the final section today we're going to be looking at is the firing range of Tier 1 units. So this is a pretty much a no-brainer here. Let's quickly do this, just to give you a better... There we go. So as you can see, something I didn't note in the video before, if you don't know, the range, the circle is quite thick for range. However, it is pretty much the inner circle is the max range for each of these units, as we can see here as I quickly run over them. Okay? So just keep that in mind. So coming in first place, we have the Mobile Flak Artillery, the Banger. This is shouldn't be a surprise to anyone. AA is always going to have the larger range due to the fast mobility of air units. Coming in second place, Mobile missile launcher, the Viper. Again, it's going to be your artillery. It's going to be firing at a range, take out those structures and damage those shields. Second place, we have the Audax Assault Bot, and third place, the Audax Assault Bot, and in last place, the Loyalist Assault Bot, just slightly behind it. Also to note, with firing arcs, as far as I'm concerned here, both the mobile missile launcher, the Audax Assault Bot, and the Banger Flak AA must be facing in the direction that they are firing, okay? So keep that in mind. As far as I'm concerned, the only one with a degree of pivot for its ranged attack is the Loyalist Assault Bot, which is a plus. It's not 360 degree range of fire. However, it does have some pivot here or there. I do believe maybe it's 240, 270 degrees. With that all said, all 4 sections covered, let's quickly do a quick summary of these units and how they'd be used in terms of functionality. Alright, so the Loyalist Assault Bot, I'm not going to lie, it's pretty useless in most regards. The only thing that stands out here is its pivot when firing on the move, so it can fire towards the sides and to a little bit of the rear, and it has a ability that none of the other units have, which is Replicate. So early on, you can use this ability to greatly increase your army if you're amassing a crap ton of these units. So Replicate is basically an ability, you click it, after a few seconds, it pretty much does what it says on the box, creates a second of that unit. So if you have a 20 Loyalist Assault Bot army, that will become a 40. Now do note, the Replicate and the unit that used the ability, cannot reuse the ability. So it's a one-time use, so keep that in mind. So moving on to the Audax Assault Bot, if you have the resources and the production, go for this Assault Bot. It is superior in terms of health and damage and even maneuverability, whereas the UEF had maneuverability for its Assault Bot, the Cybran do not at this point in time. So again, if you have production and you have the resources, go for the Audax, people. That's what's going to be the main, what your army will mainly comprise of, okay? AA, straightforward. You need AA. If you're playing with air units on, you're going to need some in the back. However, unlike the UEF counterpart, it does have really good maneuverability in terms of turn rate and movement speed, okay? So that's also great. And finally, we have the Viper, the mobile missile launcher. Not so great for its turn rate or movement speed. Keep it in the back. If you're going to wear down an army's shields or buildings, this is the perfect way to use them, alright? And if I could, yes, all tier 1 units benefit from the detonate ability. As far as I am concerned, what this does is explodes the unit, dealing damage in a radius. So a few things you might think about doing, a strategy that I've actually tested and tried, is jumping in most of your units. Obviously, not all of them have jump jacks, the Viper doesn't, but if you jump most of your units into the fray, as soon as they touch down, if they land, quickly engage Mega Armor on your Assault Bots and detonate afterwards. That's always an interesting strategy. It doesn't work all the time, especially if they have AA, you'll clear most of your army that way. But that is going to do it for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Leave any questions in the comment section below. Like this video if you liked it. Dislike it if you disliked it. And subscribe for more unit overviews in the future. I'm going to wish you all good night because we all have to sleep sometime. Peace!